Good afternoon. You're watching AB Live, a brand new news-based chat show in which we discuss topics ranging from business, news, politics, and so much more. On today's episode, here we are at the Dubai Motor Show, and in the studios right now we have Robert Hazelwood from Mercedes and Gargash Automotives, and we also have Christian Soemmer from Cadillac. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi there.
Our pleasure.
Great. So Christian, I'm going to start with you. So tell us about the main major announcements that you have from Cadillac today at the Dubai Motor Show.
Yeah, so today at the Dubai Motor Show, we revealed the first ever Cadillac XT6, which is a 3-row SUV. It's really important for the brand because now we're playing in that biggest segment in the SUV here in the region. And then we also revealed the first ever CT5 Sport sedan, which is really a nice new fastback design and will appeal to the younger generation. And that's something that we're really looking forward to see how the interest is from the Cadillac fans around the region.
All right, great. Two major announcements from you. What about from Gargash? What are the major announcements today?
Well, I think the interesting news today, we've actually got two brands here. So we've got MercedesBenz, and we also represent an up-and-coming Chinese brand, GAC Motor.
Okay.
So if I could start maybe with GAC Motor first.
For sure.
They've got a really exciting range of sedans and SUVs, and we're actually launching a brand new SUV, the GS5, which we think is going to be a really, really good seller here in the market. They also have two MPVs as well, which are going to be ideal for a lot of the local market here as well.
Yeah.
Here at Mercedes-Benz, again, some really good product news. Mercedes continually innovating. We've got the brand new GLE, we've got a couple of new AMG cars, fantastic sports vehicles. And again, they've got an all-new electric range, which we're showcasing for the first time here in the region.
All right,
the
great.
EQ range.
So Chinese brands have been increasingly doing well in this region. We've noticed that in the past. So what are you expecting from GAC's introduction here, essentially?
Yeah, so we went live with them last year in a brand new showroom. Last night we went with a brand new opening of an additional showroom.
Okay.
So we're now on the Sheikh Zayed Road, very big high-profile site that we've got there. We know that this is a great value for money brand here in the region. But it's well-engineered product as well, and we're excited. They now cover the whole spectrum of every consumer's buying needs.
All right, great. Christian, so how exactly has 2019 been for you? So we're almost at the end of the year, so how has it been in terms of sales and figures and numbers?
Yeah, I mean, 2019 was great. I mean, it was, of course, a lot of challenges and opportunities out there in the market. But having said that, with Cadillac, we carry a lot of momentum towards the end of the year and into 2020, because we are just launching our new products. We are in the midst of our product offensive, and by later this year we will have the freshest lineup for Cadillac ever here in this region. And it's nice to see that with our dealer partners here in the region who are massively committed to the brand, to see how we carry that momentum forward. And we're expecting to grow, and also for 2020 we're expecting to grow. So that's a nice thing to see.
All right, so Gargash, you handle a few brands of different ranges. So probably you can give me an overview of the automotive sector here in the UAE, especially in the last 2 years.
Yeah, so the market has clearly seen some challenges over the last few years. At its very peak, the car market in the UAE, car-wise, was about 400,000 registrations, new cars.
Okay.
Today we're seeing, this year we'll probably finish at somewhere around 200 to 220,000.
Okay.
So a significant drop on the very biggest market we've ever seen here.
Yeah.
However, as Christian was saying, it's been a good year, 2019, and I think we're seeing lots of changes in buying mannerisms. So a lot of people changing from outright purchase to leasing or long-term rental.
Yeah.
And certainly there is a big focus, I think, with every brand now, that you have to be promoting offers on a regular basis.
Right.
So perhaps the days of maybe just having a very strong Ramadan offer have gone. You've got to be in the market promoting good consumer offers all the time.
Right, so Dubai has been the luxury car market for a really long time. Now that we've seen the market situation, the crisis essentially that we've seen, has that seen a trend shift as well, where people aren't really opting as much for the higher end luxury cars and moving towards the mid-market range?
I mean, as Robert's saying, we have really seen a lot of offers in the market, and every brand goes out. But I really do also believe that through customer service and excellence in customer service, you can still really make a difference and bring new and existing customers back into our showrooms. And we have seen that. We have upgraded our showrooms, we've upgraded our service centers. We're coming back with innovative service ideas, white glove services, drop-off services, so that we can really have a peace of mind to our customers. Because right now, as you were saying, customers are really looking into a good value for money. So it's important standard warranties and manufacturer warranties. So I believe there's still a lot of goodness out there, and it's just about getting in touch with your customers and keeping them loyal.
Would you agree, Robert? Is that what the customers want?
I was going to say that exactly what Christian has just said. It's a great time to be a consumer buying cars at the moment.
It's a buyer's market.
Exactly. Whether you're premium or whether you're a value brand, everybody is looking at extended manufacturer warranties. They're looking at service plans, free insurance, things that make the whole peace of mind in buying a car that much easier in terms of the decision process. So yeah, I concur exactly what Christian was saying.
All right, so what are the trends that you're seeing in this sector, and what is it that you will be moving towards in 2020 and going forward?
I mean, it's a continuous trend that we see. The market here is also moving towards SUVs. I think there's a market now with compact SUVs, but also similarly to large SUVs. But then at the same time, people are getting a little bit more conscious about the environment and about green. So I think we're seeing a little bit of a downshift in terms of engine sizes or propulsion system. And as we said before, battery electric vehicles are gonna be the future of the automotive industry. Cadillac will be at the forefront of this. We just announced earlier this year that we will launch GM's new battery electric vehicle platform, and Cadillac will be the first to use it. So there's a lot of excitement out there. We will launch our first electric vehicle as an SUV, and that's, I think, it's kind of a testament in what direction we are going here.
But that's what I want to ask, if electric vehicle is the future, or is it actually the present right now?
I don't think it's quite the present now. I mean, lots of the manufacturers here have taken the opportunity to showcase new product. GAC has two electric vehicles on their stand, and Mercedes-Benz, we've got the EQ range here. In actual purchasing terms, though, a lot will depend on the infrastructure. And that needs to come first for people to really then start buying electric cars.
I was just going to ask, actually, are we ready in terms of infrastructure, roads, etc., to welcome this entire wave towards electric vehicles?
I think here locally in Dubai, the Dubai government has made big strides in providing charging infrastructure. Yes, as we look around the region, there are different pockets, especially also in Jordan, where we see the government focusing on battery electric. But I think ultimately, in order to give consumers again peace of mind, especially when it comes to battery electric vehicles, it's all about range and how fast can you drive, because you kind of don't want to get stopped somewhere on the way from Dubai to Abu Dhabi or back, and that's something that we as an industry still need to educate customers about, but also work together with the local governments and private business entities to establish that infrastructure that will then entice customers to go into battery electric vehicles.
And do you see that happening soon?
Absolutely, and I think Christian again is absolutely right there in terms of the work that the government's done and very much the vision that they've got in terms of putting in the infrastructure. We have one unique challenge here. During the summer, it's very, very hot. So people have got their air conditioning units on full blast. So compared to certain, say, North European markets where you're not going to have that same drain, that is a challenge. So we've got to convince consumers that they can drive all the way to Abu Dhabi and back without any issues, and they don't need to recharge halfway.
Right, it's also a mindset change that probably has to come about with the people, right? Not just with regards to vehicles. We have been a society that over-consumes rather, in terms of energy, electricity, etc. So do you see that whole shift happening? I know we're getting more conscious and environmentally more aware maybe, but are we ready for it?
I think it's coming. In terms of being ready here today, no. I think tomorrow morning people will still go out and buy electric, not electric cars. They'll buy petrol engine cars, but it's coming.
Right. How about autonomous vehicles? I mean, that is one conversation we've been having everywhere. And you said you're from Germany, so that is a huge conversation in Berlin right now. So, do you see that wave here?
I think, again, the UAE government has laid out its vision, and part of the vision is smart mobility, which includes autonomous vehicles. And, again, there is a certain part that the industry can do with providing the technology and doing the research and development, but then there's the other piece, and that's the regulatory environment. And that's something where we have to come together to work together. At the moment, a lot of car manufacturers, including GM, are working on autonomous systems. We have at Cadillac a really nice system called Super Cruise. It's completely hands-free. That works with high precision mapping and radar and lidar sensors. So it's a system that we need to get customers used to, getting the hands off the wheel, but you can still interact with the car.
Right.
And then the next step is taking the wheel away, taking the gas and the brake pedals away, and we'll see how customers react to that. But we need to instill confidence, because only then we will be able to see that shift coming. Yeah.
Right, so this is one question I've always had. I know we're talking about automation and this whole move towards automation, but with regards to personal autonomous car, do we really need that? I mean, are we really moving towards that level of laziness where you don't want to drive your own car? So, I mean, it's a very personal question, so you can give me a personal opinion on that.
So I think for me there are 4 key trends in the industry at the moment. So the connected car and everything that comes with that, autonomous cars, sharing in terms of the mobility solutions, and electric. Of all 4 of those key trends, I think autonomous is the furthest away.
Okay.
And from a personal perspective, no, I don't see myself relishing the opportunity of not driving a car, especially when I'm involved with a brand such as Mercedes-Benz, which is just fantastic cars to drive. So it will come, but as I say, of the 4 industry trends, I see it as being the last of the 4.
Right, and how would you, sorry.
I think Robert is exactly right, because at the end of the day, you have those 4 trends, and autonomous is the furthest away. And then I think it rests on 2 pillars. One will be urban transportation, where you potentially go into a people mover and you're gonna move from A to B, and it will massively decrease local emission, but also local congestion, and hopefully also at 1.0 crashes, because you'll have this fully automated system. But then you will still, especially for luxury brands like Mercedes and Cadillac, you still have those customers who want potentially to have their car drive on a daily commute on its own, but then they want to still be behind the wheel and take command of the vehicle and enjoy that nice drive.
Right, so perhaps autonomous is a few years away, if not decades. But other emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, how are the mainstream high-end cars using it in their operations? I'm going to start with you again.
So artificial intelligence is one of the foundational pillars for full level 5 autonomous driving. Only if we enable machine learning and a car will be able to learn its way around a certain urban environment, then you'll see it. At the moment, as you said, it's probably further out, but that's autonomous driving will not be possible without artificial intelligence.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, exactly the same.
On emerging technologies, basically. How are you using it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously most of that is with the R&D people in the factories, etc. And they're spending, there are literally across the industry, I guess, tens of thousands of engineers working on AI. For us in the distribution chain, that doesn't immediately impact us. We are starting to understand the benefits for the future, but here today, that is not an issue.
All right, let's talk about an issue of the present then. Road accidents, one of the bigger killers in this region, in Dubai, in UAE. How exactly are safety features being implemented? What is the kind of importance and significance that is given while manufacturing cars?
And for Cadillac, safety is the overriding principle. It's at the center of everything we do, because we know that, especially if you take your car and drive around it with your family, that's your most precious things that you want to to be safe and drive around safe. So our cars have all the hosts of safety technology and features, including the long distance control and the adaptive lane assist. And in the future, you will see that safety will play probably an even more important role to customers. And that's also why the trend to SUVs has taken place, because people feel safe in an SUV, especially in very busy roads like we see here in Dubai. And that's a real important step for us.
Right, but it still is the biggest killer here. So probably as the manufacturers, as the facilitators, there needs to be more done in order to ensure safety on the roads.
I think there's already, for most of the brands here today, well-established systems in place, which, again, as Christian said, assist you in not crashing your car. So lane assist, making sure that you're not wobbling into the lane next door. Braking systems that automatically brake when you don't. I think we've come a long, long way from the old days where accidents were very, very prevalent. In fact, we're in Gargash, we're obviously the local importer, we're also the retailer. We've got big workshops and big body shops. We're already seeing today a significant reduction in big front-end crashes.
Okay.
So it may have been a thing in the past that was significantly worse. I believe today we're seeing fewer and fewer big impacts.
All right, great. So now going forward, 2020, what are we expecting? What are the trends and what do the customers want? Are they looking for resale? Are they looking for the lower end vehicles, or are they still very, very luxury market driven right now?
I think 2020 will see similar trends as what we've seen. You'll have both ends of the customer spectrum. People are gonna want to go into a very luxurious environment, and they want to pamper themselves. It's been a challenge right now, and maybe also that is for people to come back and say, what, I wanna treat myself. I'm gonna get into a luxurious car. Of course, what we said before, value for money is important. That goes from the entire value chain, sales and after sales, but then also residual values will play an important part. And I think here, from a Cadillac point of view, we're making big strides. We have certified Cadillac pre-owned, which gives customers, again, peace of mind, even when they buy a certified pre-owned car, that they have manufacturer's warranty and a full-thrown check onto the cars.
Right, same question for you. So what are you going to see the trend moving towards?
We talked about it earlier in terms of being a great time to buy a car here in the UAE.
Yeah.
So manufacturers giving additional warranties, free servicing, free insurance, etc. For me, the biggest single change that we're starting to see, which is very, very much in parallel with Europe and the US, is how consumers purchase their car. So what's critical in that element is that you're talking about effectively personal leasing. And what's really critical there is having a strong residual value, which then makes the monthly payments much more affordable.
Right.
In order to do that, you need to have a good used car business. So you need to be able to retail those cars in 1, 2, 3 years, whatever the personal leases are.
Right.
So I think one of the biggest trends that we've seen this year, and we're going to see next year, is not so much about the cars that people buy, but more about how they purchase those cars.
All right, very interesting.
Personal leasing opportunities.
Great. I think it's the same with real estate as well. Short-term leases are getting very, very common, and all the sectors here are somewhat related to the real estate sector. But again, finally, I just need to ask you, what are the main challenges that you saw in this year as Cadillac, as Gargash?
As we said before, the marketplace is a challenge, but there are also a lot of opportunities. Customers are looking for that offer. Customers are looking, to make a good deal. But then at the same time, if you look after your customers correctly, and if you can instill that kind of loyalty, customers will come back. And we always say, you sell the first car from the showroom, you sell the next couple from your service center, and that's what we are working hard together with our dealer partners to ensure that we deliver those Cadillac moments at every touch point.
Right. One major challenge you want to overcome in the next year?
It's all about putting the consumer first. And for me, I think the key thing that we've seen this year is that retail businesses have really got to be open 24/7. Not literally 24/7, but I mean, they have to be very, very agile businesses. You have to be promoting. You have to be offering consumers something interesting to come and see you. So I think we're in a market that is challenging, but again, as Christian said, it's still a big market out there. You've just got to be really promoting all of the time.
All right, great. And for those viewers who couldn't make it to the Dubai Boat Show this year, what is the one thing that you would advise them to come here for? What are your favorite things from the Motor Show this year?
You know, the Motor Show is a great platform. A lot of manufacturers here showcasing their new cars and their new technology. So come and check it out.
Yeah, and I think there are drones and a lot of fancy vehicles on display here as well. Is there one favorite that you have?
It'd have to be on the Mercedes or GAC stands.
All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us here, and thank you for those insights.
Thank you. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
And thank you for watching AB Live. We will be back again next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.